Right. Like one from each player type and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing like Pacific Visitor, Imperial Agent, and I'll level up my Gnarshred.
I don't even want to say what I have on that game.
Or about it.
Let's just say I have that legendary icon on my
Yeah.
name now, so.
Yeah, I'm going for that. I just wish I had the money to reactivate my subscription.
Oh, word. So you can't do any of the Fallen Empire stuff, right?
Probably not yet. I mean, I could do it, but I just don't. I want to, for once, not have $400 or have over $400 charged to my credit card. Especially because next month I'll be charging like first thing I'm doing, finding a processor for my computer, $200.
Ah.
This month I bought new RAM. RAM wasn't compatible with my motherboard, so I bought a new motherboard. And the motherboard I bought that was compatible with the RAM, my current processor isn't compatible with. So it's like, yep, getting a new processor then. Pretty much the exact same one I already have, just a different chipset. I talk PvP stuff. I don't want that yet.
I don't even PvP anyway, so.
Probably do.
Welcome.
Oh, bro.
See, that is our week 1 matchup, so. Word?
She feels really good, yeah.
After. Go ahead.
That's because the weight distribution on the wagon, like I just get so much rear end grip.
I gotta say, like, after doing, like, our stuff for so long and just, like, being in the mode to have tire width and weight, like, match and everything, knowing that this is, like, not following those rules, like, you can just run however light you want with how big a tire you want. I went back and tried to make a car like that, and I literally couldn't. Like, I couldn't hang. Made, like, a 2,200 pound car with 295s, and it just I didn't know what to do with it.
I've got a 8.6 with the widest tires you can put on it, which I think is 275s, and it's like under 2,000 pounds, and I'm just going, what, how does this work? Drive.
Why does this thing lie? You have 2 viewers right now as 5 people show up on the viewer list. Of course. Of course.
Yeah, did you set up a lobby yet or no?
There's no lobby. I mean...
Or are you just doing the tires?
Yeah. And then practice right after. This channel's offline now. No, it's not.
My screen explode with parts.
There we go. Now we're going up. Okay. I couldn't figure out my screenshot. Hello, screenshot situation. So you have to use some imagination when talking about the staging area and everything.
This guy's name is Upset Stomach.
I ran into a Superman one time on the Republic fleet, and he literally had like one of the cape outfit. I forget what the name of it was, but straight up just like red cape, blue chest piece, like straight up was Superman. I'm like, you are in the wrong universe, sir. You need to get the fuck out. Like, no, you don't belong here. Wait for a couple more here. I do have some important championship related stuff to start with. And then after that, it's just going to be basic track stuff. As there is, whoa! Oh yeah, I just have it set up to capture the PowerPoint window only. That's nice. That's nice. I like it when I impress myself with stuff. That's nice.
Another thing that kills me about this game, when you're playing Sith, it's like, I want to play this character like actual Sith would. Okay, I have this opportunity to kill another Sith. Yeah, Sith would do that. Damn it, it's giving me light points.
That does make no sense.
A lot of lore stuff in the game is kind of backwards. I just love how if you play Jedi, like, or there's a huge double standard in the game, because if you play Jedi, your options are be a decent human being or be an absolute dick, and like or I should say more like the light side options are like, oh, you are like the divine holy, like,
Yeah, to get light side points,
whatever,
like the divine path.
like, I don't care, I'm doing this for honor. And then the dark side stuff is just straight up, I'm gonna kill you and your family. Like, there's no like gray area option. And then on the Sith side, it's either like the worst thing you could possibly think of, or yeah, a decent human being would do this.
I'm going to wipe out this entire colony because it abuses me, or I'm gonna save them.
It's just like, what is this? I mean, if you are a decent human being, you'd pick light side every time for Sith characters, but you know, like, there's no, the extremes are just so off. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when you're in a group and you do the group role thing on those kind of questions. And you just go in like, oh man, what's actually going to happen here?
Nah, best was playing my Sith pureblood Jedi doing those roles, because I would always pick the evil solution. I'd always go for dark side, and I'd be the one person who does. Everybody else rolling late, and I win. I'm going, yes!
I'm sure you get messages each time like, why are you even here? Like, what are you doing here?
I see live stream's about to start. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like,
Wait for a couple more.
I remember I did something
Keeper.
where I rolled dark side, and then like the next option is like, well, if we're gonna do this, we might as well go all the way again. So I roll light, and the guy says something good, and it's like, that's weird coming from a Sith pureblood. I'm like, well, you guys defeated my evil plan.
Alright. Which one is... Is that one? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh. I want to do that.
Let's pull up your stream. Scram. I'll get the last.
The Camp Couture is open June, July, and August, Monday through
Chris.
Friday.
I know.
For more information, you can go to the.
Wow, that is loud.
It is the Boston Detroit. Boston Detroit Twitch channel.
Oh look, and it's a commercial for the NASCAR pack. Troy, they know what your live stream is all about.
And when I stream out, it's all like Warcraft movie shit. Why are you showing up on my followers though? Are you broadcasting it?
Yep.
Oh, there you are. I got the
Tejas.
Sebring in the rain is going to be so much fun, dude.
The back half of this schedule is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, this is going to be the first event where we really weed out the men from the boys. Troy, why'd you have to use a clip of Elmo's car?
Because, you know, doesn't matter who's driving it, sometimes you gotta use the better looking cars in the field, you know? And
Wait, you're saying this is a better looking one?
it's better than some of the things that I've seen out there. It's got a direction, you know, and all the body lines look kind of okay, you know? It's got one singular tire sponsor, that's always good. Not multiple.
But there are people with multiple tire sponsors.
I've seen everything.
I've seen Bremo and Will were them.
I've seen some stuff, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I've seen some things, dude. Alrighty. Let's get right into it. Because I want to get this over with. To put it lightly. To put it lightly. I'd like to get this over with.
We're recruiting you all to the dark side.
Wrong game, buddy.
Oh, right.
I should really get these spell check underlines out of here. This is what we're going to go over today. Got some really quick stuff about the difference between, or some championship related stuff, this being the second event and all, and then go over the format once again for the weekend, and then we'll get right into the track stuff. Couple things to know. If you drove Atlanta, like actually, you know, put in a battle run against somebody in Atlanta, whatever car you use there, you're locked into that for the rest of the season. You have 2 cars that you can use for the whole season. Whatever you use in Atlanta is one of the 2 that you can use. You can switch back and forth between those 2 cars as many times as you need to as the season goes on, but just know you have 2 cars. The one you drove in Atlanta is locked in for the season as one of those 2. So if you want to drive something new for this round at Le Mans, you can, and that would be your second car, and you can switch between those 2. If you're going to use the same one from Atlanta, don't need to worry about it. The next thing is, as part of a protocol to make it easier on everybody scheduling wise. We do drop the lowest score the season. So if you miss an event or there's a track that wasn't your best, whatever, we do drop the lowest score. But what that means now is the standings after this round are going to look a little interesting. And I'm bringing this up because I know people are going to ask me about it. Like, how it'll look basically is if you did both rounds, whatever your highest scoring round was is what's going to appear on the standings. So where, traditionally you would think, oh, I scored 50 in Atlanta and I got 70 now in this one, it should be 120, and then it ends up being just 70 instead. That's what that is. So keep that in mind. And starting this round, what we are going to be doing is handing out bonus points for the driver championship only to all of you that show up to these drivers meetings now, like during the stream, or should you watch it on YouTube later, I'll give you something to message me to say that you've watched it. Case in point being, we want more people to watch these things. We want more people to know what the hell is going on.
Maybe if we start getting cookies.
See, now, bonus points are easier to pull off than cookies. As much as cookies would be amazing, it would probably get us a lot of drivers real fast. I don't think we can do that. So real quick, once again, there are 3 different championships you guys are going for: driver, nations, and team. Driver championships, the easy one. Top scoring drivers on the season. Nations based on where you're from. Make sure if you're not registered with us, I don't know where you're from, and I'm not going to go out of my way to figure it out, because I've been wrong so many times on looking up things on my own. A lot of it's been like, oh, you're British, yeah, and then I'll get a message later, I'm like, no, I'm Northern Ireland or Scottish. Like, I'll get it totally wrong because I'll just guess. So I'm not doing that anymore. And then the same thing goes for teams. If I have you listed as privateer and you're actually on a team, make sure you let me know so that I can change that and so you can start scoring points for your team. Now we don't use the traditional top 32 layout like you see used in literally everything else, because we try to be different. And we really like the system. It's the Jaeger format made by a guy down in Australia. Basically, there's no qualifying on the weekend. Your placement in this bracket is based on... We're primarily basing this... Now that we've done a round, we're basing it off of the point standings from the season. So your top 16 from Atlanta is going to be the starting top 16, Div 1 and Div 2, for this round. Everybody else, based on their point standings and their prior experience, will be placed into the lower divisions. And basically, through the 2 days, you're going to battle your way up. From one division up to the next, up to the next, up to the next. Think King of the Hill type of thing, but not like Forza King of the Hill, so to speak. Each division is going to have 8 drivers. As I said, King of the Hill style. Top 8 drivers from each heat will move on, and we'll keep going up till we have 16 left. And on day 2, we'll run, basically once we have that 16, we're going to do the basic bracket format straight through, nothing fancy, nothing new. And Long Beach, lol. Division 1 and 2 are made up of the top 16 of, can I just real quick, Atlanta. And then the bottom are going to be sorted by past overall performance. Default should be by point standings. And I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second. And basically the way to get higher up in each division and get yourself into the starting 16 for each successive round is you got to battle your way up. Straight up nothing, no politics, no special treatment. You have to battle your way into the higher divisions. On Friday, we're going to try and get started right around 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to run from 6 to 9, doing as many battles as we can. No matter what, we're stopping at 9 unless we have like 1 or 2 overlap. We will not be starting anything new, though, after 9 o'clock on Friday. And the other thing to keep in mind, too, we've been able to make 6 divisions both times that we've done this. So this is probably what it's going to look like. But keep in mind, if we don't fill 6 divisions, we're going to push it back later. So it'd start at 7 rather than 6. But the window for competition is from 6 to 9. We'll have the final divisions and everything set up by 11 that morning. Sign-ups will close the day before, so Thursday night, May 26th. Sign-ups will close. I can't let any new drivers in, just to make sure that everybody knows where they're at, everybody knows what time they need to be on. And from there, on Friday, this is important, this is something new. On Friday, I need you guys to send me a message. I don't care whether it's on your computer, on Xbox, on the Smart Glass app. You need to send me a message to say, yes, I'm in, or no, I'm not in. If I don't hear anything from you, I'm writing you off at 11 o'clock. It's because I am just like, I've had it up to here, but you can't see me right now, but I've had it up to here with the no-show thing.
It's a serious pain in the butt.
It is a...
You're waiting for people to show up.
Yes.
It's annoying.
Absolutely. It slows everything down. Guys miss out on battles.
People who are competing with you.
Exactly. So, on Friday, between Thursday and Friday, I need each one of you guys that are 100% driving to send me a message and let me know. Otherwise, I'm literally moving on without you and acting like you never signed up in the first place. It's extremely important. And then Saturday will be our top 24, technically, because it's top 16 plus Division 3. We'll get started right around 3 to 3:30, and we'll take it on as long as we need to until we get a winner. And I also want to put it out there, these times are completely subject to change. Things happen, like things happen tonight. But 3:30 to 6:30 is the window that we're expecting to get this done. Now, as I said before, if we had only the same people coming back from Atlanta, this is how our divisions would look. This is based on the point standings at this point. This is going to be extremely different because we do have a couple new guys. We do have a couple new guys that have signed up, and a couple guys that are definitely not driving this round. But this is essentially what it would look like. Whoever is on your string is who you'd be battling. So, is my mouse cursor capturing? Yes, it is. So, if you're Crazy Monkey, you would be battling Slider. Winner of that would face Jaquiz. Winner of that would face Bucket. Winner of that would face Wanted. Good luck with these 4. Actually, that is a tough string. That's obviously not what it's going to end up looking like because we do have guys that aren't showing up and new guys and everything. But that's basically how it would work. So 5, 4, and 3. These 2 battles basically here would be what we do Friday night. And then 3 versus 2 and 2 versus 1 is Saturday. All right, now we're on to the track. And I want to... I said this at the top of the broadcast here, but I don't think we had everybody with me here. I've been trying to get screenshots for you guys to show you exact places as far as staging and everything. But for some reason, even though Xbox DVR is allowing me to save screenshots, they aren't popping up on my profile anywhere. So you guys are going to have to use a little bit of imagination. Or if you're on track right now, you can take a look at it, what I'm talking about, and maybe get an idea. But I don't have any nice screenshots to show you for visual aid here. Tire warm-up anywhere behind grid or not on the map. I think it's straightforward. Same thing as Atlanta. With this track, there's not a whole lot of room outside of the layout. And it's not a short way back to grid. So you have all the space that you can work with is going to be just off of the layout here. And non-battling traffic just go all the way around the circuit. There's no... there's not a whole lot of... Like I said, there's not a whole lot of space outside of the actual track for us to move people around. So the best thing to do would be to go all the way around the racetrack and come back on the other side. I just rather not. Like, I've tried driving my way backwards around the track in a way that would not interfere with runs, and I don't see it happening. And then, of course, if you're spectating, please stay at least 2 car lengths off the track. And I'll get into that a little bit more later, looking at spectator and media zones, which would be right now, I guess. If you're not battling, the designated spectator zone here is going to be in the middle. Right here, there's going to be a white tire wall that kind of comes in like this. Normal spectators / battlers, you guys need to park there. If you plan on getting media for us, whether it be in the form of video or pictures, you are allowed to sit behind tire walls inside of 2 here, or closer up behind the tire wall in front of the white tire wall, as well as the one on turn 1. So if you're spectator / battler, you go in the white tire wall that's in the middle. If you are doing media for us, you can be anywhere behind any tire wall in the middle of the track, as long as you are behind a tire wall. And of course, you guys know how to get to grid from there. If you're called to battle, please just drive all the way around the track. It's a long drive, I know. So the sooner the better. Please just go clockwise around the track, unless it's like absolutely clear, guaranteed, nobody coming. Then you can drive backwards through the layout. And then, of course, if you are spectating, please only move from, or I guess this is more just for media guys. Do not move between spots while runs are going on. Like, even if they're driving back to grid, do not move. Now here's where the imagination part has to come in. You're going to stage up against the first rumble, which would be, think about the backstretch here. You have the first rumble where that right-hander comes out that sets up this long straightaway, which is the run-up here. That one that's on the exit on the left, that's where you guys are going to be staging up. It doesn't really matter where over there, as long as you're within that rumble strip that's over there. The left side driver will always lead, right side driver always follows, and we want both of you to hug the left side of the track, so returning traffic, should there be any, can hug the right side. You're going to roll from about 50 to 60 till the second rumble strip, which would be the one on the left side, signaling the beginning of that corner. I think that's what a lot of people have been doing anyway, so it shouldn't be that big of a stretch for you guys. We actually had the roll starting at the end of the first rumble before, but the problem is you had so much speed built up going into that first corner. You had to do e-brake with a little bit of foot brake to slow yourself down enough, and which is why there's a red spot right there at the initiation spot. And after doing it a couple times with it this way, I at least didn't have to brake nearly as much, so that's the way we're going to do it. And once we get into do practice and everything, you'll pretty much understand what I'm talking about there. When you initiate, we would like you to be hugging the left side still, and then come straight down into IC1. Now the biggest thing here about this track is tire drops. Those of you that saw the layout post, this picture here, posted on either our Facebook page or on the forum, probably noticed the little blurb that says "Not counting tire drops, use olive track." What we mean by that specifically is we've had a lot of situations where one driver will completely outdrive their competitor. Like situations where guys would, we could tell who the winner was in a battle, But then the problem was, they would drop a tire in certain places, and it'd be like, we would have to really think about it, and sometimes have to give the win to the guy that got outdriven. And, it's as much as I know the purists are saying, yeah, you should stay on the track, like, duh. We want to, like, with this, especially with this track, with the power alley coming through OZ1 into OZ2, we'd like for you guys to at least be able to get through the track rather than, not be worried about dropping a tire, and rather you be focused on getting the right line. So when we say not counting tire drops, use all the track, that means we're not going to be sitting there, judges, we're not going to be sitting there saying, oh, he dropped one there, one there, one there. We're not going to be doing that. We're just going to be looking at the run as a whole. So if you need to put a tire past the lines coming through the power alley, feel free. It doesn't matter how far you go off. It doesn't matter where you go off. If you can make a run out of it, it's fine. The issues that we will have, though, is if you go into an area where the chase car, as a lead car, if you go into an area where the chase car can't follow, it still will be your fault. Get through the track. That's prime directive here. Get through the track. So, speaking of getting through the track, let's talk about it specifically. Of course, like I said, on initiation, you guys need to be wide to the left and then cutting in onto IC1. You should be at moderate speed hang. It's probably going to fall on your hands. So the key here is just use what you need to get through the track. That's prime directive here. Get through the track. So, speaking of getting through the track, let's talk about it specifically. Of course, like I said, on initiation, you guys need to be wide to the left and then cutting in onto IC1. You should be at moderate speed here. It's a tricky transition that you got to do to get to IC2. And we want you to hug IC2 as much as you can for as long as you can, so that you don't have to go off nearly as much into OZ1. But once you get out of IC2, you should be full throttle. Maybe a little bit less angle. Use all the racetrack that you possibly can as you transition to OZ2. And OZ2 is the one where, like, on the left side there's not a whole lot of hazards. It's literally just like that tarmac stuff. So that's especially where you can get away with dropping big time. It's just having to come back over that rumble strip is where things could get a little sketchy, but that's a lot safer than trying to stretch wide on OZ1. Now, chase cars have to be aware that lead's going to be slowing down a lot into OZ2, and contact should there be contact on OZ2, more often than not, we'll be looking at that being the chase car's fault. So you need to be ready for lead car to slow down a lot through there. It's kind of the same thing as when we ran Indy. That first transition coming off the big sweeper, we told everybody, look, that's a heavy slowing area, chase car, you have to be ready. And we had a couple battles decided on contact there. And now for IC3 and IC4, we kind of come back to what counts as, the tire drop rule thing. You need to stay on track through there. Like, we don't want to see guys just flying off the edge thinking, oh, well, we don't have to worry about tire drops, You need to at least stay within that first rumble that's on the back there, and finish out cleanly. And then straight up from there, that dual apex, right into OZ3 and shut down. Again, we don't do finish lines. We don't have don't judge me anymore markers. So, of course, what you're going to need to do is shut the car down, show you're in control to signify to us that your run is ending. If you spin through OZ3 or you come through Manji out and spin, all of that we can look at and say, oh, that, they spun out. That's a 0. So please just get to OZ3, show car control, and shut down. Let me look through the bullets that I have here. Yeah, expect to initiate hugging left side. Yep, kind of that. Yeah, the most important part of this track is straight up OZ1, OZ2. We want to see you guys fill all of that. If lead cars cheat that by any means, especially after saying we're not counting tire drops, like if you cheat that line to gap the guy behind you, that's gonna come on your head. We want tandems to be close through that, so missing those 2 zones is bad news. Of course, we're only running in the day, no night, no rain here. We contemplated running night, but it's just a little bit on the dark side, just a little bit enough on the dark side that we couldn't be okay with that. I think that's it for the track, honestly, unless you guys hit me with anything. And then, of course, one more time, we will have a party set up for all drivers. Don't invite your friends in unless your friends are driving. Be kind to everybody else in there. Basic stuff you guys should know. And then should anything happen, whether you have to be somewhere or somebody's lagging super hard or whatever, always report everything to either the staff member that's in there with you, that the party host, or one of us. And
I'd just like to point out, if you announce that you have to go to the bathroom or whatever, do say who it is, because oftentimes you just say, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, and going, I don't know your voice.
Good point. A lot of people don't do that. They assume we know everybody. Alright, that's all I have here. That's all I have written here. There's probably other things I probably could have said that I'd been thinking about and hadn't got a chance to write down. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time. And then also we're going to go through and make sure those of you that are here live with us get your bonus points for the championship here. Where is... Oh god, I saw my mouse on the preview thing and thought it was over there. I'm all confuzzled. I really wish screenshots was working. I don't like having to paint a picture like that without having a picture in front of me. Really, no questions? Are you guys just taking a while to type or something? You know? I get that. I get that. Oh, passing zones. Hey, I thought of that one on my own. Really? My gut's telling me, like, no passing anywhere, really? Like, especially considering the power alley here.
This really isn't a track to try and pass people on.
Yeah. It, by default, like, if someone goes, like, way off track, like, extremely off track, way off the line, and you can still run the right line without interfering with that guy, like, obviously, you can do that, but this isn't like a, this isn't like I'm trying to think of an example. They're not coming to me. This really isn't a passing track, like Uber said there. Good question, Puppet. If the leader runs really wide on OZ1 to OZ2 and follow can't run that line and has to make an adjustment and actually surpasses the leader, that's gonna most likely be lead's fault. I think it's got to be a case by case. Like, if it's got to be a case by case thing, I can't like straight up say, oh yeah, no, he would be at fault or whatever. But typically that would be more lead's fault if he's the one running if he's running extremely wide, like into that area where that almost undrivable area.
Yeah, like, there's grass right outside of outside zone 2, right?
No, 2's pretty wide open.
Yeah, like, if he's going, using all of the road as we do, and then goes off into the grass, I'm saying, like, way into the grass.
Well, yeah, well then that's totally lead's fault. Like, that's too much.
The way I'm looking at something like that is through the power alley. If they're still on pavement, then we most likely won't be at fault.
It's just OZ1 behind that rumble strip is also that like weird tarmac patch, that green patch there. I don't even like know what I don't even know what that surface is. But it's supposed to be a safe zone more so rather than oh yeah, run that line. It's supposed to be for, if you need to get out a little bit more, you can. We're not gonna penalize you. It's not like it's not like, oh yeah, totally. If there's road there, fucking shred it, like go, like no. So case by case, but typically it would be lead's fault if he goes too wide. It's just not going to be a tire drop problem. So good question. I think that's the biggest one with this layout anyway. But it's just mostly case by case. But yeah, let me check tech real quick. Okay, so we got a couple new cars to tech here, which I will update probably tomorrow. I don't feel like doing it right now, but I see you guys. There's not a whole lot of you that don't pass tech, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just to make sure you guys know what you're doing. 280. Yep. Yep, okay, if you've put in a tech sheet in the last, what is this? 2 days? You passed? I just have to update it later. Are Porsches legal? Totally. So you must be referring to the 944 and that's it, right? It's gotta be front engine. So if you were gonna run the 944, like, go for it. But rear engine and mid engine are frowned upon and illegal, and so is that stupid Hot Wheels car. So I know I'm gonna get flack for that, but I can't stand it.
Hater.
Yep. Apologize. Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, let me go ahead. If y'all can, there's only 12 of you here. Go ahead and update the standings real quick. Let me see. I saw Wanted's name, so unfortunately he gets a bonus point. Doesn't like he needs it.
We get bonus points.
Yeah, bud, where are you? Like 70th? Hold on. I gotta scroll real far. Well, as a judge, you should get bonus points because you do not have to do this like whatsoever. Okay, Puppet is the other one that I recognize. If I don't recognize, you don't feel triggered or nothing. I just don't know Twitch names.
Puppet also asked a question, so you should get a bonus point as well for asking.
Ah!
We're just handing out bonus points today.
Renjiro, how you doing? Okay, there we go. I was gonna guess. I saw Tatterson. I was like, I think I've seen that name. Okay, cool, cool. Who else do we have in here? I'm gonna. Oh, Theory gets one, of course. How you doing, Theory? How is you?
Good.
Blue balled me with registration, though.
Don't be like me, guys, and register and then realize that you have plans on that weekend. It's probably too late for me to get points, so I'd rather. But.
Alright, I don't recognize anybody else here. Am I right? Oh yeah, Jaquees, how you doing? How you do? I didn't show your name in the thing. Apologize. Apologize. +1.
Yeah. No, wait, there it is.
Yeah, Ty, you need to change your Twitch name, buddy. People are gonna get confused.
Mr. Jaquees.
People are gonna get confused. If y'all want to put your gamer tags in the chat for me real quick, I'll do the rest. How does one change? Ask Saucy.
Know who people is.
Yeah, so we know who the peeper is. And if you are watching this on YouTube right now, in post, go ahead and send me Jaquees is a busta. I don't care how you spell it. You message me Jaquees is a busta on Xbox. You'll get your bonus point for attending the driver's meeting. Probably got nothing to say to that. You take it like a man. Alright, well, look, we're going to get on Forza now. We're going to set up a open practice lobby and get things going. Of course, it's going to be on the formal side. So, pairs. Get all the way around the track. You know, all this stuff I just talked about. 45-minute, you know, just do that stuff. If you want in on that practice lobby, go ahead and message me, and I will add you to that lobby. And alrighty, I'll see you then. I'll see you in the game.